right, so it's important to know if you're looking to get into a Elantra N, you're going to want to know everything that is its little quirks and downfalls and downsides. Every car has them, and that's completely fine. Every new car has its flaws out right now. It's just what it is. That's just the time we live in. But it's always been like that. You know, when you think about cars from back then, a lot of people say, oh, well, cars didn't do this back then and we didn't have these type of issues. They did a lot of the times. And I've heard this from plenty of people that are way older than I am. Back then, you would see cars lined up on the highway because they were just simply overheating, or there were things going on with them on the highway. So we may not have as many overheating issues, but with technology getting rapidly accelerating and everything, we're just going to have our issues. There's so many electronics and so many computers. You really just, you have to accept it is what it is. So most of them I'm going to explain. I'm going to give you how to fix. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is going to be the fact that, really quick, I had to re-record this part, but I was saying and speaking on the turbos having possibly a 5 to 10% chance of failing when you buy it. Now, it's very low. It can happen. It probably won't happen to most people, but it does happen. Out of both the cars that I had, being the DCT and this manual, the DCT was absolutely fine, and this manual was not fine with 2 turbos. And sometimes you can just get a bad one from the factory. It happens. I'm going to say a full bad one from the factory happened. Now, how do you know that your turbo is failing? You're going to have these weird wooling noises. And if you guys have been following the channel for a long time, you know that when I first picked up this 6-speed car, that I had those wooling noises. So first thing you're going to know, you start the car, you're going to hear ooh. It's going to calm down. But as you drive, that wooling noise is going to go with the RPMs as the turbo spools. As you get off the turbo, then it's going to lightly go down with it. Another way, now that isn't a guarantee, but another way you can tell that your turbo is failing or you have a bad one is you're going to have some shaft play. Now, what I mean by shaft play, you can remove your inlet and you can see the turbine wheel. And what you want to do, you want to wiggle it side to side. It's fine, but back and forth, that's a lot of play. That's just to show you how I got play. That's up and down. A little side to side, but a lot of up and down. That lets you know that your turbo is damaged and you're going to need a new one. Now you can get it rebuilt, but at that point you're better off just going with a hybrid, or you can get another Elantra N turbo for your Veloster or your Kona N, or even your Elantra N. Now this happens with the Velosters especially. They have random turbo failure. Again, it doesn't happen with everyone, but it can happen. It's just something that you want to look out for, and it gives you an excuse to upgrade your turbo. Another way you can tell if your turbo is failing is you're going to get some smoking coming out of your tailpipe. Now what I mean, what color do you want to look for? You want to look for a thick bluish to white tint smoke, and this one is going to gradually go away very, very slowly, like very slowly. You're going to notice it. If you have it, you're going to notice it. It may start off small. Now don't get this twisted. If you have a little bit of blue smoke and it smells like oil, check your PCV valve first. You always want to check your PCV valve before anything, before getting too nervous. You know, a few times the turbos have failed for me, and I was like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. Do I need a turbo? And it's always good to check the PCV valve, and you can check the PCV valve very easily by just shaking it. If you hear something like click, click, click back and forth, your PCV may be still good. If you hear nothing, then your PCV is bad, and that's what your oil is coming from. It is allowing oil to go through that PCV and go into your manifold. The manifold is basically a box of the air that's coming in. If that oil mixes with that air, it's just going to go into the combustion chamber and burn off, creating that blue smoke and that burning oil. That's where you get it from. So again, these are things you want to look out for when it comes to your turbo. And also, you're going to have some bad turbo characteristics, meaning it's not going to build boost as fast, it's not going to hold boost as long. It's a few different ways of going about it. The way to fix that turbo is simply, like I said before, get it checked out, and you want to get it taken off and replace it. Now, you can rebuild it, you can send it out. You got a few different turbo builders out there that you can go with. You got the Pure 550N. I know you guys know about that one. You have the one that I have, the TTE 490. And then if you really want a little bit more power than all the other hybrids can give you, Cherry Tuning has their G25. It's a G25 compressor, but that is a hybrid, and it has a ball bearing. It is a very good turbo. You also have, I believe, Turbo Bay. They offer T51R mods if you want that really loud spool sound. So it's many different turbos you can go with if you want a hybrid turbo upgrade, or just simply buy another used or new Elantra N turbo. Now, I'm sure a whole bunch of you have heard about the other things that could go wrong, but again, we're going to talk about the things that could go wrong when you're pushing higher boosts once you get tuned for more than 350 horsepower. So the guys that are at 350 lower, don't worry about this one. This won't always apply to you. But if you are looking into an Elantra, and just know, yes, the knock sensors can be an issue, but I've already showed on how to basically remedy the water coming in if you power wash, or if you're going through a heavy storm. I've already showed that. That's the rubber that you buy that you put under. So you're basically going to get universal weather stripping that's going to go around the under part of your hood. I'm going to show you about that right now. So what I meant when I was talking about, you want to cover this area right here from getting wet, because that's where it gets in through here and through the bottom. But here it's where it's really bad. Like, you'll notice if you don't have any protection, you'll have a bunch of dried up watermarks here and on top. It still happens very small, but as you can see up here, this right here, that's the weather stripping, and I have it going all the way around on both sides. You can even see my wrap, like, because I did this before the wrap, so I tried to stop the wrap at that, but that's what I mean. That right there will save you at least 90% to 95% of water getting in your engine bay, messing with that knock sensor that's under there. So it's a pain to change it. So just try and, do this little mod. Again, this is universal weather stripping. If you want to see, it's just round and sticky. You got like a little sticky double-sided tape on the other side, and it's just round. Now that is about, I'm gonna say, half the size of a quarter. So that's where you want to get. But that's just a fix, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never went through that problem. I did it to both the ends that I had, and I never ran into that problem at all. So that fix, I think, is just an excellent fix. It works 100%. I can tell you, I've been driving this car so much, and I drove the other car so much. I had nearly 60,000 miles on that car. This car has 22,000 miles on it, and I drive it every day. I have not ran into any type of tough situations where my check engine light or lower engine power, limp mode, any of that. Now, we know about the injectors. This is very rare, but I've seen it. Oil squirters for the 2022 models. Now, this is not going to go for 2023 plus because they fixed it in 2023. This happens to be a 2023 model, but in 2022, that 1 year only in some Velosters, Again, this is going to go for the Kona ends also. 23, you're safe, but 22, no. The oil squirters are the press-in, and those fail. And when they fail, oh man, it's taking the engine out with it. This is why you have to get a magnetic drain plug, magnetic oil drain plug. It is going to be your best friend, especially if you have a 2022. If you have a 23 on, you still want to buy it. You still want to have it, as I do. I recommend it. But for 2022, you definitely want to have it just in case, because it'll stop it. I actually know a few people that this has happened to, and they had 2022 models, and when that piece falls, when that oil squirter falls, it can go anywhere in that engine and mess things up, taking the engine out with it. So again, if you're looking at a 2022, it's something to think about. I recommend looking at 2023s on if you are in the market for it. But again, let's get into the nitty-gritty of what you guys want to know about boosted applications. So the first thing I'm going to say, if you are tuned over 25 pounds of boost, you are going to be losing couplers. And when I mean losing couplers, you're going to be blowing couplers literally off the throttle body, blowing them off of the cold pipe where it goes to the intercooler. It's going to happen. You have to get the good full clamps. Now I'm going to show a picture of these clamps over here, and I'll leave a link so you can buy them. But you're going to be blowing off clamps. You're going to be just hitting on it, and then all of a sudden it is not going to feel the same. You're going to be like, what is going on with my car? This is not good. It's going to be a no-go for the Mishimoto. If you deli your car, it is going to be a no-go for the thermostat. Now what I mean, they have a 160 thermostat, and I had that on my car trying to lower the temps. It lowered the temps, let me tell you. Definitely lowered the temps, but lowered it too much to where I got a check engine light, and the check engine light basically said that the car was not operating at optimal temperature, so it cut some of the timing. You're going to have to get that switched out. If you do have the Mishimoto, take it out. You only want the Mishimoto if your car is just a track driven car where it's going to be driven hard every day of its life, and you only use your car at the track. That's when you want it. But if you daily your car, if you're just taking grandma out to go pick up her prescriptions or something like that, don't get it. Instead, Whoosh Motorsport has a 180 degree coming out, and I'm going to be getting it. It's not on the website just as of yet. If it is, by the time I put this video out, I'll leave a link down in the description below. But that's the thermostat you want. That will keep you right at that 170 on your screen, because with the 160, when I had it in, this car was not going above 160, and it even was sitting at like the 150s even for a long period of time. So not a good buy. I do not recommend the Mishimoto unless, like I said, it is a race car. Another thing you're going to run into is possible map sensor failure. Now when you're pushing those higher boost numbers, your map sensor may go a little crazy. You may want the 4-bar map sensors. You can get the 4-bar map sensors from just 2 places that sell it. I got mine's. Shout out to you, Kyle, from 845. He was able to get me those because I was supposed to get the clutch, but I didn't get the clutch, so he ended up getting me the 4-bar map sensors. And you guys know the story on the 4-bar map sensors. I thought they didn't work because at the time my tuner did not want to tune the car, and he told me that they were broke, so I went around thinking they were broke. The car is running on those 4-bar map sensors right now, so you can get them from Cherry Tuning. I'll leave a link for those down below. You can get it from him, or you can get it from MTT Tuning. That's where Kyle got it for me. And you know, you can go above that 29 psi. Now I haven't been above 29. Well, I have, but I'm not running on above 29 psi at the moment, but I will. And you guys know why. If you don't, we are going to be building this motor very, very shortly. I'm actually waiting on parts, and we're going to turn it all the way up, all the way up. So need those map sensors to push over 29 pounds. Once you get, you know, in that 26 range for a long period of time, your stock map sensors are gonna be like, yo, this is a lot, man. Now they're rated for 29 PSI or 28 and some change, but you don't want to max them out too early to the point where you're just going through them on a month basis. Also, you want to make sure your wastegate is reading at the correct voltage. You always want to make sure. But other than that, when it comes to that right there, just go ahead and get those 4-bar map sensors. Get yourself a catch can. This is the dual operation, the 2-in-1. This is one of the best ones I found. This cost me $339, and I think I got a little bit of sale, but this is the add one. So basically you're going to run the normal, it's the normal setup, like here and here from there. So bam in there, and then it's going to make its way out. So what's going to happen, this is just going to be where your filtered air is going to go through right there, and then this is going to go over there and use some of that air and push it back into there. So you're not going to have any overflow of oil, which I checked this already and I don't have much in there, much sediment. But here you're normally just going to have the filter. I didn't run the filter because I had a little overfilled, so I just ran an extra one. I'm going to fix that up, but you're just going to run your filter there. And again, word of advice, if you guys are working on this car and you're doing everything yourself, these cars do not like too much oil, okay? And what I mean by that, when you check your oil, you see where it's at, like it's under the second. So what I mean by the second, I mean this dot, that dot right there, you want it a little under there. So right now where it's at, it's perfect. You want it a little under that second dot, that top dot. If you do on the dot or a little over the dot when you're pushing a lot of boost, what's going to happen is if you have this filtered right here, guess what? It's going to come out of that filter. How do I know? It did it to me. So you want to make sure your oil is not overfilled, and then you're going to filter that, and it's going to let some of that crank case ventilation breathe the way it's supposed to. Another thing I want to explain to you guys, if you're going to be pushing any type of power out of these cars, or you want to upgrade your turbo, any of that stuff, I recommend getting head studs. I can't preach about this enough. If you're going to run an upgraded turbo and be upwards of over 25 pounds of boost, you're going to lift your head. It's going to take some time, but you're going to lift your head. Don't be like how I was, and I warped my head a little bit. I had to have it shaved down. Shout out again to Tin Man, because he's the one that did it, and he saved me a lot of money. Trust me when I tell you, if it was going to a machine shop, it would have been a lot more. So make sure you get your head studs. If you're down there, you might want to do the 4-layer head gasket. It's only 130 bucks. It'll save you a headache, trust me. And if you're going to be going into building the motor, that's going to be for another day. And we're going to talk about that because we're doing that really soon. When I say we're building this motor really soon, within this month, we're building this motor. And we're going to, the route that I'm going to explain to you guys why and what are the ups, what are the downs of it. But I'm not going to leave anything out. This is why I do this channel. I want you guys to know what it's like to mod these cars. And I'm going to be honest with you from what I see. The way I see it. This is me being unbiased. Unbiased, guys. I preach. I tell you guys, go to upper, go to lap 3. I used to say N75. What else is out there? Logix. You got Exclusive. You have so many different tuning companies. If you just want lower power, you're good with stage 1, stage 2 being completely unbiased. Lap 3's 1.5 is really good. Upper Motorsports, it's really good when you just want about stage 1, stage 2, and like I said there, stage 1.5. Also, if you want some of the higher powers, like definitely recommend Cherry Tuning, because he has a way to get around that DCT slip. That is something that a lot of DCT guys suffer from. I used to suffer from and couldn't get away from it. And the tune I was making the 380 on, the slip was pretty bad. And sometimes it would cost me a valuable amount of time and even stop the car from being as fast as it should have been. But Tristan has that covered. You can ask Luke. Again, there's so many different ways you could go. It depends on how you want to build your car. And we're going to talk about everything you are going to need to make these cars do whatever and shine. So again, just to let you guys know, my goal for this car is 600 to 620 wheel horsepower. I'll be okay if we even get 560. I'm all right with that. I don't want to go too crazy. I am going to try and mod a CLS 63S or just get a Gen 3 Coyote. And that I'm going to, if I get a Gen 3 Coyote, I'm just going to throw a ESS supercharger on it. I do want a few other little cars, you know, nothing crazy expensive, but I'm going to bring some other cars onto the channel. But I am still a Hyundai head. I still am a fan of these cars and what they're going to be. And this is going to be that car for me. This is going to be the car still that I'm going to daily every single day. I just need a little V8 noise, you know, I need it. So again, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me. You can reach out to me on Instagram. I am more likely to get back to you. Sometimes I get bunched up because I get a lot of messages, but InDriverKG on Instagram, just send me a personal message. I try and get to you as soon as I can. Follow me. I post on there sometimes. I even post some stuff that I don't upload here. So just check me out on there, and soon we will get to some giveaways. I have a lot of extra parts, so we'll see what we can do in the future. And again, I hope you guys push your cars and wait, it's not my shit not pulling, bro.
I have a feeling that there's definitely cars that are.
Probably is.
I was telling them that too. I was like,
It probably is. They probably there.